Oh my gosh, Patty, hi. While everyone is logging in still, this is totally just a suggestion, but I am going to already think about Shavasana, and if you have a blanket nearby, I'm going to suggest placing it by your mat now, and then your Shavasana can get a little bit cozier today. So it's Friday. Maybe you'll have some extra time that you can spend on your mat after class ends today. So I'm going to encourage you to already think ahead to Shavasana, gather up a blanket if you have it, and if you don't, no big deal. Maybe even just a sweater to drape over the top of you when we finish practice could help you really settle in and spend a little extra time in stillness after we finish today. So just a suggestion, and if you are already on and making your way onto your mat, just settle into a place lying down on your back that's comfortable for you. Water. Turn off the comments and meet you on my mat in just a moment. Go ahead and lie down on your mat or whatever surface you're practicing on today, just on the back side of your body, heavy in a shape that feels good for you. On your mat here, while you're just lying flat, focus on the way your breath feels and take the biggest inhale you possibly can. Open your mouth, let a sigh out to empty. Do that one more time. Trace the breath in down into your belly. Feel your chest lift a little towards your chin as you expand. And let it go. Start with little movements. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. And look left and right a couple times to loosen up your neck. Roll your wrists and ankles or point and flex your feet. Then big full body stretch. Reach your arms up overhead. Get really long. Keep your arms up overhead, but soften your body. Making a little banana shape here. Walk your hands over towards the left side of your mat, and then walk your feet over towards the left side. You could place one hand on top of the other or cross your right ankle over your left. When you breathe out, let your backside get even heavier. Try and keep both shoulders down on your mat. Just a gentle side body stretch here. One more breath cycle here. And walk your hands and feet back towards the middle of your mat, and then both to the right. So hands go towards the right edge, and then feet go towards the right edge. Feel a gentle stretch on your rib cage here. If I don't know you, my name's Danielle. This will be a Moto Flow style class that we're practicing. And start to bring everything back in towards the middle, hands and feet. And take one more full body stretch. Reach up. And then knees into chest. Wrap your hands around your shins or the back of your thighs. And rock a little bit side to side. And keep your knees in towards your chest. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Bring your arms out really wide, palms face down. Take a breath in. Exhale, bring your legs over towards the left. Feel the low belly engage. Inhale, draw your legs back up. Exhale them to the right. You should start to feel a twist through the middle of your waist. Inhale, legs lift. Exhale to the left. Inhale, legs to center. Exhale to the right. One more time on each side. Bring your legs back to middle. Exhale them to your left. Legs to middle. And then exhale to the right. Bring your hands behind your thighs. Knees staying towards your chest. Start to rock and roll a little bit. Inhale towards your shoulders. Exhale towards your bum. Get a little bit of momentum so that eventually you can cross your lower legs. Land your hands on the mat. Step your feet back, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet out in this shape a little bit. Again, feel your belly engage. That'll help your hips lift up high. Making this upside down V shape with your body. Right away, we'll get into some movement, cycling through some sun salutations here to get the body warmed up. Movement's probably pretty familiar, so just focus on fluidity in your breath, a nice steady inhale each time, and just as steady as an exhale. Let that steadiness in the breath translate to nice fluid movements in the body. Here we go. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, take little steps to the front edge of your mat. Come up halfway. When you get there, lift your heart. Exhale, fold. All the way to standing, reach for the ceiling, press your feet into the mat. Palms together, slide them to heart center. Inhale, reach back up. And exhale, fold. Soften at your knees as you hinge at your hips. Take your halfway lift, plant your hands, step your feet back, high plank. When you get there, take an inhale, reach your heart forward, knees to the mat, exhale, bend your elbows, come down to your belly. Breathe in, lift just your chest. Breath out, press back through table, tuck your toes, lift your hips down, down. My blankets are hanging out at the end of my mat, getting in my face. Take a couple breaths here. Notice how just that tiny bit of movement already heats up your body. It feels so good. And this time when we go to the front of the mat, just try for 2 big steps. So gaze forward, inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, left foot, right foot. Come up halfway and fold. All the way to standing. Again, root down with your feet as you reach high. Palms together, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Take your half lift, long spine's the goal. Plant your hands, feet back, high plank. We'll take one more modified here. Start with a breath in, knees to the mat. Take your time to lower as you bend your elbows. Try and feel your arms on your side bodies. Lift your chest. Exhale, back through tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Down dog. Press your hands down into the mat really hard. Lift your hips as high as they'll go. Again, we'll take 2 big steps, but start with your right foot. So breathe in and look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, right foot, left foot. Halfway lift and fold. All the way to standing, reach up, palms together, glide your hands down to heart center. Press your hands together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Take your half lift here. Plant your hands, step your feet back. You could stick with the modified version or lower halfway here for chaturanga, just about 5 inches. Press into your hands to lift your chest, straighten your arms for up dog. Exhale, hips go back high, downward facing. This time, you choose how you want to get to the front of the mat. Option 2, take little steps, a couple big ones, or a hop. Inhale to look forward, bend your knees, and exhale, travel. Take your halfway lift here, and then fold and hang heavy. Let your upper body be really passive. If you want, feet can be hip distance, a little closer or a little wider apart. Try and keep your chin in towards your chest. I know with the change of my regularly scheduled programming, I feel like the back of the legs and the hips have probably been the tightest. My movements that I do have are more repetitive, walking, or more stationary sitting. So really enjoy this big stretch in the back of the legs. Drive your heels into the mat, lift your hips a little higher, and then let your upper body fall heavy again. And scoot your feet back to the middle of the mat so your big toes brush up against one another. And come up halfway, hands to your hip creases, hold here. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Again, drive your heels into the mat so your heart reaches forward. You're trying to make your spine really long here. Squeeze your shoulder blades in towards the middle of your back. I like to say you're giving your spine a hug with the shoulder blades. And then your heart, your sternum bone reaches really far forward away from your hips. Take one more inhale here and fold. Come up halfway and to standing. Feet are still in the middle of your mat. Reach your arms up above head. Bend your knees, sit your hips down and back. So it's like you're going into a little chair, but you never quite sit down into it. Your legs end up being your support to hold you in your seat. Keep squeezing your inner thighs together. Take one more inhale like this. Exhale, sweep your arms long beside you. Lift your chest about halfway to a flat back. So you're going back to that lifted halfway position with the upper body. Take one more inhale here, reach your heart forward. Exhale, sit back into your little chair and sweep your arms up. Take another inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms, lift the chest, flat back. Inhale, bend your knees, lower your hips, reach your arms up. Twice more like that. On the exhale, upper body reaches forward, back flat, arms sweep beside you. Bend your knees, lower your hips, reach your arms up. Again, arms sweep back, upper body lifts halfway. And last time into your little chair, reach your arms up. Take an inhale here, forward fold. Come up halfway, really long spine. Plant your hands, step your feet back to your high plank. Option to flow here, knees to the mat and all the way down or halfway. Inhale, when your heart lifts, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, hips go back high, downward facing dog. And breathe in, reach your right foot up high, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your knee in towards your nose, step your right foot in between your hands, lower your back knee down, untuck your back toes, low lunge, lift your upper body, lift your arms. Get situated here. If your arms need to widen to make your shoulders comfortable, you can do that. Drive your right heel into the mat, the one in your front foot. Let your hips sink a little bit forward so the front of your left hip gets a nice stretch. Grab for your left wrist with your right thumb and first finger and take a side body stretch up and over to the right. Again, it gives you a really big stretch down the front of your left hip. Inhale, reach your arms up, look forward. Tuck your back toes under, press into your back foot to straighten your back leg, high crescent lunge. Take an inhale here, reach really high. Warrior two on the exhale, left heel to the mat, arms out to a T. And keep pressing into your right heel, stay anchored there. Then use the pinky toe side of your left foot. Both legs work really hard in this shape. Flip your front palm, reach up and back, exalt your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Keep the lunge legs. Again, reverse your warrior. Right hand reaches up and back. And warrior two. One more time. Reach up and back. This time, windmill your hands all the way down to the ground. Twisted lunge. Keep your left hand down. Reach your right hand to the ceiling. Bring your right hand back to the mat. Step your right foot back, high plank. And when you're ready on an exhale, take yourself through a flow. And we'll come back together, as always, in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg up high. Exhale, left foot steps in between your hands. Squeeze your belly. Lower your right knee down, untuck your back toes. Low lunge, lift your upper body. Adjust the arms to make this shape comfortable. Each time you breathe in, lift the front of your chest up a little bit higher. When you breathe out, shoulder blades squeeze in, giving your spine that hug with the shoulder blades. Here's our transition to get into high crescent. Tuck your right toes under. Press into your back foot to straighten your back leg. Upper body rises. One more inhale here. Warrior two on the exhale. Open it up. And just the upper body's gonna move here, so legs stay as they are. Flip your front palm, reach it up and back. Right hand might come behind your back or slide down your right leg. Exhale, find your warrior two. Two more times. Inhale, left hand reaches up and back. Exhale, warrior two. Last one. Inhale, reverse. And hands come all the way to the ground this time. Right hand stays planted, right heel comes high. Reach your left hand up for a twisted lunge. Bring your left hand back to the mat. Send your left foot to the back of your mat. Set up a really strong high plank. And on an exhale, lower down. On an inhale, lift up. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. And breathe in, reach your right foot up high, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring your right knee into your nose, squeeze your belly. Inhale, three-legged dog, kick your right heel back up high. Two more times. Shoulders glide forward as your knee comes towards your nose. Inhale, right heel high. Last time, this time knee to nose, pause, step your right foot in between your hands, rise up to high crescent. Right away, turn it open, warrior two. Reverse your warrior, reach your right hand up and back. Exhale, warrior two. Pause here. Take a breath in and out. Again, reverse your warrior, but straighten your right leg as you do so. Bring your upper body back to middle. Triangle pose. Right hand goes forward and then down. Left hand goes up to the ceiling. I always shorten my stance a little bit here by back foot walking in a couple inches. Really broad in the front of your chest. Feel that little lift on the inhale. And even in this shape, shoulder blades continue to squeeze together on the exhale. Look at your right big toe. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Inhale, bend your right knee. Walk your back foot forward. Floating half moon is where we're going. Left leg lifts up. Your right fingertips can hover or come down and land on a block or a water bottle, some books, whatever you have handy. Keep the heart going forward. Keep the shoulder blades engaged on the middle of your back. Left ankle flexes. Press your left heel towards the back of the room. Option for left hand to reach up. One more inhale here. Exhale, standing splits. Bring both hands to the ground and turn your left toes to point towards your mat. Keep your left ankle flexed. Breathe in. Think of it as a halfway lift. Heart goes forward. Breath out, fold. Chest and chin fall towards your right shin. Left heel lifts higher. Bring your hands down to the mat if they're not there. Soften into your right knee. Step your left foot really far back. Lower your left knee down to the mat and tuck your back toes. Bring your hips towards your left heel. Scoot your right heel forward if you need to for a stretch down the back of your right leg. Inhale every time, heart goes a little bit further forward. And then exhale, fold over your front leg. Walk your hands back up towards the front of your mat to frame your right foot. Tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee up. Three-legged dog, reach your right foot high. Bend your right knee, open your right hip. Inhale, three-legged dog, straighten your right leg. Exhale, downward facing dog, step your right foot beside your left. Hang here, take a float. Inhale, you come forward if you're moving. Exhale, lower down. Breath in, lift up. Breath out, take it back home, downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged dog, left heel high. Exhale, left knee to nose, glide forward. Inhale, three-legged dog, kick your left heel back up high. Again, exhale, left knee in towards nose, squeeze your belly. One more time, left heel high, three-legged. This time, left knee towards nose, step your left foot in between your hands, and rise up, high crescent. Lift your upper body, lift your arms. One more inhale here. Warrior two on the exhale, open it up, take up some space, nice wide stance, nice broad chest. Flip your front palm, reverse your warrior, keep the bend in your front knee. Exhale, warrior two for a breath cycle. Again, reverse but straighten your left leg. And then glide your upper body back through middle, reach your heart and left hand forward. Tick-tock the arms, left hand comes down, right hand goes up. Find the base where you're most sturdy. And then the right hand's reaching up high. Twist through the waist, right rib cage goes on top of your left. One more inhale here. Enjoy the exhale and the opening through your midsection. And then look at your left big toe, bring your right hand to your right hip. Inhale, bend your left knee, walk your right foot forward. Floating half moon, take your time, get your right leg really strong, and then slowly lift it up. Keep the length here through your entire body. Crown of the head and heart go towards the front of your mat. Right heel goes towards the back. Always an option to keep your right hand on your right hip or reach it up. Start to look towards your mat. Take your last inhale. Exhale, both hands to your mat. Turn your right toes down. Standing splits. Inhale, upper body gets long. Exhale, fold. Back leg lifts high. Last breath in here. Land your hands on the mat. Exhale, step your right foot far back. Lower your right knee down. Half splits. Draw your hips towards the back of your mat. I like flexion through my left ankle here, the one that's in front. You turn your toes up towards the ceiling or a little bit over towards the left side of your mat. Take your big inhale, get a longer spine. Exhale, fold deeper, bigger stretch for the back of your left leg. One more cycle, enjoy it here. And crawl your hands back up to the front of your mat. Right toes tuck under, lift your right knee up. Three-legged dog, reach your left foot high. Bend your left knee, peel open your left hip. Inhale, left leg straightens. Exhale, downward facing dog. Both feet come to the mat for a flow. Inhale, glide forward. Keep driving your hands into the mat. Exhale, take your time to lower down. Inhale, open your heart, press it forward. Exhale, lift your hips up. Downward facing dog. And breath in, look forward, bend your knees. Breath out, travel to the front. Take your halfway lift here and fold. Utkatasana, bend your knees, lower your hips, reach your arms up. Take a moment, get really strong through your legs. So find where your feet are sturdiest on the mat, where your inner thighs are squeezing tightest together. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart. Inhale, reach your heart forward. Exhale, twist to the left, right elbow to the outside of your left knee. Really drive your palms together so you have leverage to reach your heart further forward, more space between your shoulders and ears. Exhale, twist right through the middle of your waist. One more inhale here. Exhale to twist. Stay low, come through middle as you breathe in. Take it to the other side. Left elbow finds the outside of your right knee. One more breath cycle. Inhale for length in your upper body. Exhale, squeeze your inner thighs together and twist. Breath in, come through middle, reach for the ceiling, stand tall, stretch it out. Bend your elbows, cactus your arms on the exhale, lift your chest. Reach your arms back up, gaze forward, palms together in front of your heart, drop your hips again, so back into that chair. Inhale, go forward with your upper body. Exhale, twist to the left again, right elbow taps outside of your left knee. Stay low, inhale through middle to the other side on the exhale, left elbow taps right knee. Again, stay low, breathe in through middle, exhale to the left. Squeeze your inner thighs really tight, come through middle, breathe in. Stay low, take it to the left. One more time on each side, inhale middle, exhale you twist. Inhale middle, and again exhale twist. Come through center, reach up one more time for the ceiling. And again, bend your elbows on the exhale, cactus your arms, hold here this time. Drive your feet into the mat. Low belly is strong. Glutes are a little bit firm. Most importantly, chest reaches up. Maybe your gaze peeks up too. Inhale, long arms, look forward. Exhale, fold. Take your halfway lift here. Plant your hands, step your feet back, high plank. You can lower right away on this long exhale, or always an option in your high plank to reset with a breath in and then lower. We'll always meet up and down dog. Inhale, pull forward to a high plank and hold here. If this is too much on your shoulders at all, you can always bring your knees to the mat for more support. If you want a little extra heat, hover your right toes off the mat. Exhale, bring your right knee towards your right elbow, tap it. Inhale, send your right leg back, across your chest, right knee taps left elbow. Send it back. Set your right toes on the mat, downward facing dog, lift your hips. Take an inhale. And an exhale. Inhale, forward, high plank. Again, you could stay right here. You could lower your knees to the mat. If you want a little bit more heat, hover your left toes off the mat. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, tap it. Send your left foot back, cover the toes. Exhale, left knee, right elbow, tap it. Left foot back, left foot down, hips high, downward facing dog. A breath in, breath out. Inhale, forward, high plank. This time, slowly come all the way to your belly. When you get there, bring your arms along beside you. Turn your right ear or cheek to the mat. Take 2 really big breath cycles here. Coming back to that idea of your exhale being just as steady as your inhale. Turn your gaze to the other side. So your left ear or cheek comes to the mat. And then again, 2 really steady breath cycles on this side. Chin back to middle. I'm gonna set up for a baby cobra. So hands underneath your shoulders. It's kind of like you got little grasshopper wings. Your elbows point towards the back of the mat. Strengthen up your legs by pressing the fronts of your feet down into the mat. Squeeze your arms into the side bodies. Take an exhale. Inhale, lift just your chest. Focus on the strength of your shoulder blades here, squeezing in towards your spine and then down towards your hips. So heart gets to reach a little bit further forward and then lift higher. Keep your upper body exactly how it is, but bring your arms long beside of you. Lift your feet off the mat. So both halves are now lifted. Take one more inhale, lift your chest and feet a little bit higher. Exhale, come back down, arms stay beside you, reach your right ear or cheek onto the mat again. Take a breath in, let it out. One more in and out. Chin back to center. If you like the arms long beside you in full locust, they can stay like that. Or if you like a bind with your hands, interlace your fingers on your low back. Take an exhale. Inhale, chest comes back up, arms get long, and feet come back up too. Press down into the mat with the front of your hip creases. Belly is contained. Squeeze it up and in. Lift your chest higher. Lift your feet higher. One more inhale. Both halves higher. And then come down, left ear, cheek to your mat. Big breath in. Expand the space behind your shoulder blades. Breath out. Chin back to center. You can stick with any of those variations that we just worked on. Or for bow pose, heels in towards your bum. Grab the outside edges of your feet or ankles. Really press the front of your thighs down into the mat. Take an exhale. Inhale, chest lifts. Look forward for bow this time so you can reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades continue to actively squeeze in. Lift your chest a little bit higher. Kick harder into your hands. One more breath in here. Slowly come down. Keep your forehead at middle. Stack your palms right underneath your forehead and rest your head on your hands. You might wiggle an imaginary tail side to side, or it could be nice here to bend your knees, feet towards the ceiling, and sway them a little bit side to side. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders, kind of like where they were for baby cobra, but walk them back a palm print. So they're actually more in line with your rib cages and your wrists are right underneath your elbows. Take an exhale. Press your hands down so much that the arms start to straighten, chest lifts up, coming to high cobra, press into the front of your feet, legs are strong too here. We'll hold this one. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Lift the crown of your head up. Hips stay heavy. Legs are strong. Take one more inhale. Downward facing dog. Tuck your toes under or roll them over and lift your hips. Inhale to look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, travel to the front. Come up halfway and fold. All the way to standing, arms above head. We're heading into eagle. Wrap your left arm underneath your right. Lower your hips. Left leg lifts and left thigh goes on top of your right. You can stay as you are in this shape. If you want a little bit more extra fire for your belly, take an inhale here. Exhale, start to round your back and bring your elbows down towards your knees. Inhale, lift up. Option for one more. Round the back, squeeze your belly in. Strength comes from the middle of your core. Inhale, lift your upper body back up. Keep the arms, lift your left thigh up. Step your left foot back, set up warrior one legs. You want to press your left heel into the mat really hard. Reach your tailbone towards your left heel. Hips square forward. Bend into your right knee. Unwrap your arms, reach up, warrior one. One more inhale here. Exhale, warrior two. Heel toe your left foot to the back of your mat. Bring your arms out wide. Just like when we reversed our warrior, the legs stay in the same shape here, but upper body's gliding forward again. Extended side angle. Set your right forearm on your front thigh and reach your left arm up and overhead. Press your left foot into the mat. Again, reach your heart forward as you breathe in. We'll lift in the front of your chest. Exhale, strong belly. We're rotating through the waist. Again, lower half stays as is. Inhale, lift up and reverse your warrior. Right hand up and overhead. Exhale, warrior two. A lot of heat in the legs. Inhale, upper body glides forward. Right forearm down, left arm up and over. Just an inhale here. And an exhale. And then breathe in and reverse. Right hand up and overhead. Exhale, warrior two. Last breath cycle here. Make it big. And steady. Hands to hips, straighten your right leg. Turn all 10 toes to face the long edge of your mat. Wide-legged forward fold. Press your feet down hard. Exhale, right at your hip creases. Hinge and fold. Soften your knees as much as you need to so that your whole upper body can come upside down and get heavy. Rock your weight towards your toes as you breathe in. Let your weight come a little bit forward. Breath out, drive your heels back into the mat. Use the strength in the hamstrings and calves. Bring your fingertips underneath your face and press up halfway on the inhale. Exhale, bend into your right knee. Keep pressing your left foot into the mat. This should give you a really nice stretch through the inside seam of your left leg. Take one more inhale here. And exhale. Breath in, come back through middle, and then exhale, bend into your left knee this time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, hands back through middle. This time, crawl them around to frame your right foot. Lower your left knee down, untuck your back toes, bring your hips towards your left heel. Inhale, come forward, hands stay framed around your right foot. Exhale, bring your hips back, flex your right ankle. 2 more times like that. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, rock back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Come forward, hands down again around your front foot. This time, tuck your left toes under. We're setting up for pyramid. You're gonna walk your left foot in about a foot. Both legs straighten, hips lift up. I like fingertips down onto the mat to set this up with a long spine. Adjustment through the hips as needed. If your right hip's coming really far forward, use the strength of your bum to press it back. When you feel like your hips are level, the hip crease is staying in one line, and your upper body's long, fold over your front leg. Let your head be heavy. Keep pressing both heels into the mat. If you have a hard time keeping your hips squaring forward, walk your right foot more towards the right side of your mat. That should give you more space so that you can press your right hip crease back. And walk your right foot back to the middle of the mat. Soften into your right knee so your palms can come back to frame your front foot. Scoot your left foot back to a lunge shape with the legs. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Reach your right foot high. One more time, bend your right knee, open your right hip. Inhale, straighten your right leg back out. Option for a 3-legged flow, or you could always step your right foot beside your left on the mat and then flow. Either way, inhale takes you forward. For 3-legged, right toes hover. Exhale to lower down. Again, right toes continue to hover. Both feet come to the mat for your back bend. Hips high, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale to gaze forward, bend your knees. And exhale, travel to the front. Take your halfway lift and fold. Come all the way up, reach for the ceiling. You're an eagle on the other side, right arm's coming underneath this time. And after your hips sit down, it'll be your right leg that lifts and lands on top of your left. Try and get a really steady gaze here. Even though your upper arms and inner thighs are working so hard and squeezing, the muscles around your eyes and mouth soften. Again, choose to stay, or if you want a little movement, stay for your breath in. Round and crunch on your breath out. Steady to rise back up. And then again, one more time if you want to. Round and crunch. Squeeze your belly in. Inhale to rise back up. Keep the arms on left, lift your right leg. Warrior one legs. Right foot steps back, not really far, just a couple of feet. Left toes point forward, but right toes point towards like 2 or 3 o'clock. Bend your left knee as you anchor your right heel into the mat. Unwrap your arms and reach up for warrior one. One breath cycle here. Last inhale, fingertips go high. Warrior two on the exhale, arms wide. Scoot your right foot back to widen your stance. Again, upper body is what's moving here. Glide forward, extended side angle, left forearm, left thigh, right arm up and over. Legs are your really strong support. You'd actually imagine that your upper body's falling a 1/2 inch or so back behind you so your belly really engages. Last breath in here. Stay for the breath out. Legs stay the same. Inhale, rise up and reverse your warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Breath in and out. Again, glide your upper body forward. Land the left forearm on your left thigh. Send your right arm up and over. Just one breath cycle here. Stay strong. And then reverse. Reach all the way up and overhead with your left hand. Exhale, warrior two. Hands to your hips, straighten your left leg. Again, flip all 10 of your toes towards the long edge of your mat. Option here for hands to come down as they did the first time we were here, or take a bind and interlace your hands on your low back. Squeeze your palms together. You can leave your hands right on your low back, or if you need more sensation through your chest and back, extend your arms, knuckles towards the ground. When you're ready, on an exhale, take the hinge and forward fold. Release the bind if you've got it. Bring your fingertips back under your face. Again, come up halfway on the inhale. This time bend into your left knee first. One more breath cycle here. Get that big stretch to the inside of your right leg. Inhale, come through middle. And exhale, bend into your right knee. One more in. Stay to let it out. Inhale through middle. Exhale, crawl your hands up around to frame your left foot. Lower your right knee to the mat. Bring your hips towards your right heel. Flex your left ankle. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Little rock and roll 3 more times. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, rock it back. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. Last one. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, hips towards your right heel. And then making our way to pyramid, come forward, palms to the mat, tuck your right toes under, right knee lifts, right foot steps in, about 6 inches, hips high, both legs straighten. And this shape's gonna be best if you really fine tune it before you surrender into it. So get the hips to be square. Again, left foot might come towards the left side of your mat. If you need your feet wider apart, that might help your left hip go back in space easier. Long spine on your inhale, and on an exhale is when you want to surrender in and fold over your front leg. Pressing both heels down. Your sneaky left hip is probably going to the whole time here try and come forward. Keep pressing it back. Start to bend into your left knee. Walk your left foot back to the middle of the mat. Palms come down flat. Scoot your right foot back. Make the lunge shape with your legs. And then inhale, 3-legged dog. Left heel goes high. Bend your left knee to open your left hip. Inhale, left leg straightens. You choose regular flow, or if you want, keep your left toes hovering for the first part. Inhale, high plank. Exhale to lower down. Again, remember, both feet come down as you lift your chest for high cobra. And then hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Set this down dog up really strong. Reach your heels towards the mat. Drive all 10 of your fingertips and your knuckles down. Actually imagine you're squeezing the mat. So instead of just pressing down, that squeeze is going to help your arms and the top of your shoulders stay really engaged. Belly is firm. Lift your hips up. Soften your chest. Reach it towards your shins. Take a breath cycle here, enjoying all this space. And then last flow. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, lower down, use control. Inhale, lift up, keep squeezing your mat with your hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your heels, lower your knees to the mat. Grab a sip of water if you're thirsty. If you did gather a blanket that you might want to use in Shavasana, bring it nearby and then come back to lying on your back. On your back. A little bit of more work to do before we settle all the way down. We'll prep for a bridge pose here. Bring your feet to the mat if they're not already. Knees point up. Ideally, you've got about hip distance between your feet and your ankles are underneath your knees. If you need to find that alignment, maybe walk your heels towards your bum a little bit more. Bring your arms long beside you, palms pressed down, take an exhale. Inhale, press into your feet, lift your hips, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, hips back down to the mat. Again, on the inhale, lift your hips up, squeeze your glutes. One more time, lower your hips on the exhale, and then lift them back up. This time we'll hold here. If you want, you could bend your elbows, point your fingertips up towards the ceiling, or find a bind with your hands and interlace them down on your mat underneath your low back. Rock your shoulder blades underneath you, one and then the other. Front of the chest gets to open up more. Keep squeezing your glutes. Lift your hips as high as they'll go. Press your heels down, press your big toes down. Take one more inhale, keep lifting. And then slowly lower down. Let your arms stay home beside you, or you could bring them out to a T. Let your legs fall to the left for a passive twist. You might scoot your hips to the right. If you've got a different variation on the twist, you could cross one leg over the other. You could use a block or a pillow underneath your knees. Try and let your shoulder blades both stay down on the mat. And then you can gaze up or look to the right in the opposite direction of your legs. Come back to a steady breath here so you can really feel the expansion on the inhale. And then your body sinking into the twist even more on the exhale the whole time you breathe out. Take one more on this side. Draw your legs back to middle, gaze up. Switch it to the other side. Maybe your hips scooch left and then legs fall to the right. Adjusting into the little variation of the twist that you love best. Chest stays pointing up. And then if you want, you can turn and look just a little bit to the left or maybe even all the way towards your left hand. Gaze back up, bring your knees to middle. And take a big hug of your knees in towards your chest. Hands again around your shins or the thighs. This time, keep your shoulders away from your ears, but bring your nose up towards your knees. Keep squeezing in. One more big breath in here. Fill up as much as you can. Open mouth, exhale, release. If you do have that blanket, just one little addition to your Shavasana might make you feel extra cozier. You can even, like I said, put just a sweater or something over your chest, maybe something over your eyes. Back into stillness. We had an awesome, I don't know if some of you saw it, question and answer with one of our founders and one of our teacher training staff members, Esme. Two of my favorite people ever. And one of the things Esme talked about that she really took from her teacher training was having the opportunity to drop into Shavasana. We might not all go to teacher training, but while we're at home practicing, we do have a little bit more time on our hands most likely. So I thought it could be a good time to focus on Shavasana, giving yourself the little adjustments, but especially the time that really make this sink in. After all the movement in your body, physically we're able to soften, and hopefully the same mentally too. Once your body is still, just notice the subtlety, the change the breath brings. A little lift on the front side. And that little release as you empty out. Let the back of your hands rest heavy and let your toes fall out wider than your heels. Shoulder blades tuck underneath a little bit so your heart is supported. And let your jaw relax. If you notice your top and bottom teeth are pressed tight together, leave a little space between them. And the muscle in your jawbone can relax. Maybe your eyes stay open, but your vision gets blurry, so you're not really focused on looking at something too much. Or if your eyes do close, let them just softly rest shut. Physically, no effort has to come into this shape. You do have the opportunity to spend some time here. I encourage it. Soak in as much of this feeling as you can. I hope that the rest of your day is really lovely as you feel now. I appreciate you all for spending some time here on your mat this morning with us. Hopefully we'll do it again soon. And please take care and with absolute gratitude. Namaste.